affiliate to the region, and then now we're trying to grow county chapters. So we've got some going, but I'd like to know your thoughts on how to grow and sustain those affiliates. Like, how do you keep people engaged, not just on social media, but actual showing up, doing stuff?
I mean, one thing, as Wes pointed out, some of our best people in this are not here to speak to the subject. 2 points I would make is get a meetup group going and look for a real social personality. We have a great guy in Northern Virginia, some of you might know, Chris Brookover. And all over the country, there's people, there's personalities that are just social by nature, that like to party, that like to network and bring people together. Laura Delone used to do it in this area. She was also great. Find people like this who are just social butterflies, and put them in charge of a meetup group and get them posting meetup groups at least monthly and make it a social thing. There was an article in LP News, one of our last issues, on this group in California, Alive, Happy, Free. How many of you saw that article in LP News? Are you guys reading LP News? How many of you get LP News?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, check it out. The young group that's just done a lot of work in building social networks and friendships coming out of it, and and then tying that into activism, getting people out to events. So that's one thing. The other thing that I always gravitate towards too is campaigns. Now, campaigns are cyclical, so after the campaign, everybody goes home. But let people go home. Say, all right, you need a break. It's holiday time, whatever. Take a break. We'll get back together in January. But campaigns really get people's blood going. And hand in hand with that, one of the things you want your members to do is to be all regularly recruiting candidates. So you can be doing that all the time, recruiting candidates, and with that, training them, teaching them community driving, teaching them what to expect in their vote totals. And some of them aren't going to listen. They're going to go around telling everybody they're going to win, and they're going to have 5% of the vote, and they're going to, so you won't always succeed. But do what you can to just bring your candidates up that learning curve, because a lot of them are new and they need to know all the stuff that you guys know. So you can be spending that time between election cycles recruiting and educating your candidates. What else would you guys add to that?
Well, I would just say in Clay County, when we were really hitting it was when we were running campaigns. I mean, that was actually one of the best things. Also, sometimes there's some big events you kind of schedule on. But the first thing is go ahead and pick a dedicated date. It says it's going to be the first Monday. We're going to meet at Jackie's restaurant, and you just say that's where it's going to be. And one person show up like West time, and just make sure that that's consistent. And you might be first couple times you might show up and just eat by yourself with your family, and then somebody else shows up, and then somebody else shows up. But mostly, just go ahead and jump into it and pick that location, pick that time, and then you just start letting people know over and over. That's where we meet. That's where we meet. That's where we meet. And then be posting about it. By the way, we met. It was 4 or 5 of us that showed up. We'd love 4 or 5 more. We had a great time. Some good pictures, people laughing, that kind of thing. But I think part of it's just actually picking the spot, the date, and then get consistent.
And
Just hand back there. Okay.
If you were,
you go ahead,
okay. Carla, on what you just said, you mentioned one that's important to me. You said that your members should be recruiting. But that's very decentralized, and how do you really communicate that? Because one of the things I heard after the last election, the worst thing that I heard was somebody come to me and say, I had a guy that I thought would be great for sheriff in my county. And, I had a guy after the election is not anything we ever want to hear. We want to.
I will amend what I said before, because I think that you're right. You just don't want everybody recruiting. You want several key people. In Northern Virginia, we have Matt Chalco and Chris Brookover, and they're some of the 2 regulars that I see, myself and others, who now they're experienced libertarians who know the ropes. So that it's not just everybody going up and recruiting candidates. It's the people in your party who have experience and knowledge about where to find good candidates and coach them while you're recruiting them and preparing them while you're recruiting. So yeah.
Well, this person had some good experience and everything, and really, they're on our leadership group, and I feel that everybody in our leadership group is fairly liberal in terms of membership in Indiana. I think that of the people that come to the convention, probably 70% of them are in the leadership group, the Facebook leadership group. But I guess guess it kind of surprised me that to them, it wouldn't have at least registered to say, you know, I'm gonna talk to my county chair, or, I don't know. I'm not sure how to deal with the problem that not everybody wants to be a leader. If I was brand new in your group and I had somebody I thought should run, I would tell somebody that they should run.
So I'm gonna, do you have a specific question here?
I think I
Into
can
the
kind of, well,
decentralization that you
I'll
were
tell you what I would, if I was your chair,
Sam, don't do that.
Georgia, recruiting candidates a little harder for us because of lack of ballot access. One thing is you want to be very clear, what is the standard when we find that guy? Who do I report back to? Because I may not be a good recruiter, I may be kind of nerdy, kind of scared to talk about, but I know this guy would make a great sheriff. This is the contact person that they need to talk to. You need to talk to Bob Jones, and Bob Jones will get in touch with you.
That's a good idea.
So,
Put out
so you
contact
need to
people.
be a standard, how you react when you find that candidate, and who's gonna be the go-to guy, and who's gonna be contact. And for everybody to know that it's Bob Jones, who's gonna be the go-to guy if you're not capable. Because the vice chair's probably capable, or the chair's probably capable, but a lot of other folks who are kind of newbies may not. And then you just have that standard, go to Bob. Bob will take care of it.
Okay.
And you may have a place somewhere where y'all have a secret group, you post that name, because we have the internal secret groups where we don't want people to see what we're saying. You know, say, look, you know, John Smith, that guy that was a deputy, he's been talking about running for sheriff, but nobody actually wants to support him. We need to get down there. Plus, somebody later on go back and look through those messages, like, has anybody, you know, contacted him? And then there's kind of a written note there for people to kind of remember.
Okay. Thank you both.
And, one of the questions was, how do you start up a local organization or keep them going? And I did talk about this a little bit yesterday. It's like we were looking for good people to train on that and realized we didn't have very many good people to do that, and it just pointed out a weakness. We almost canceled that hour of the training, and we actually considered having someone from Maryland talk about legislative lobbying, but instead, because we knew of someone we had a good idea might be good at that. But I was like, we need to keep that on there. It's so critical. It's probably why we're not growing anymore and failing in a lot of places. We need to better understand that. There are groups like Students for Liberty, Young Americans for Liberty. They have really nice how-to guides, how to get it started up, how to call a meeting, how to keep it organized, and we used to have more of that. And by having this training, we helped you some, but we also helped learn our own weaknesses. And I hope that the next time we do this in 3 months, we will have a great how-to guide ready for people like you on how to get up a monthly, you know, a local meeting and keep it going, including all the, you know, social aspects. Do this, don't do that. So that it's a big weakness.
I have a fundraising question from the presentation. It was a pretty cool idea that, you know, to go around and pass out the flyers, but I used to date, before I was married, I dated a female firefighter for a long, long time. And go to a lot of these firefighter things, and also I grew up in the church, they have you pass around a collection plate. And the firefighter would say, all right, get your cash out, and they'd pass around a boot. And they just pass the boot and fill it with cash. Is that an acceptable thing or legal thing, or?
It's technically illegal in a lot of places, but a lot of libertarians still do it, and so we can't put it in a training manual in writing instructing you to do that. But some places there's exceptions for it.
May I speak to that?
Yes.
There are, with the FEC, I can't talk about states, and I will say with 99% certainty the following is true. Anonymous contributions are not allowed. But I don't think you can accept anonymous contributions. You can accept cash contributions, the LNC, up to $50, I believe, per year per person. So.
Well, then it's not anonymous if you're keeping track of it per person.
Correct. But if you're just passing a boot around and nobody knows what's being tossed in there, then I don't think that would work. At least with respect to FEC matters and many states as well. So you got to be careful.
There are special situations in states, according to state laws, that say if you're having a dinner or you're having an event, you can take a certain amount. I don't have them all memorized. I know there is some of that you can do in some places, and if it's written out